Today we have something extremely special with us. We have the all-new Kia Carnival that is yet to be launched in India. And just as the name suggests, this MPV will be a carnival of fun, especially if you have a big family and you love opulence and luxury. Stay tuned as we tell you everything there is to know about the all-new MPV that is going to redefine segments in the Indian market. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill MPV that's going to get featured in the commercial vehicle segment. It's a people mover and it does that with a lot of attitude and style. Kia has made sure that with the Carnival they are making a dramatic statement for customers who are looking for modern and luxurious means of traveling, ensuring that there is ample of comfort, and of course Kia being Kia is going to pamper you with a lot of features. So before we get started on the drive and on the performance of the all-new Kia Carnival, let's talk a little bit about the comfort and convenience that is being offered in this MPV, considering it's going to be high on these factors. On the design front, you have a very aesthetically appealing front end, and you have this distinctive tiger nose grille that you also have seen on the Kia Seltos. You have these unique slats with, of course, a little bit of chrome garnishing and this brushed metal finishing. On the front grille, you have projector headlamps with these ice cube shaped LED fog lamps. Overall, the design is sporty, it's new and does look quite aggressive. You also have skid plates over here underneath the bumper to give it a very aesthetically pleasing appeal, and a very butch front. So the Kia Carnival rides on fat 235/60 R18, and you have these 5 twin spoke alloys. The chrome finished alloys look very urban and very premium. Over to the side you have a pronounced shoulder line, and that gives it a bold look. You also have pronounced wheel arches, again adding to that bulk factor. The belt line gradually tapers upwards towards the C-pillar, and there is a kink of course there, and you have fixed windows in the rear. The roof is more or less flat. The profile overall from the side is pretty MPV-ish, but then again does have that urban and modern look to it. So inside the cabin of the Kia Carnival, you have a very suave and sophisticated setup. You have plenty of functionality that has been built into the front section of the cabin. The dashboard has been laid out, it's slightly driver oriented, and the ergonomics are really good, so everything is within reasonable reach of the driver. All of the controls out here. The driver's position is sort of that like of an commanding position of an aeroplane, like in a cockpit. And of course you have the gear knob and all the functionality on the center floor console as well, which has been built in very ergonomically. The storage area also doubles up as an armrest. This doesn't slide though, it's a fixed position armrest, but it's pretty large, so even if you move your seat forward you still have support. Now the steering column is a tilt and telescopic unit. Now Kia is offering a lot of convenience functions on the Carnival. So you have push button start stop, keyless entry, which of course becomes standard. You have plenty of charging outlets. So you have a USB charging slot here, you have a 12-volt slot here. Inside this storage space you have a charging slot here, you have a 12-volt slot here as well. You also get a 12-volt socket in the rear, a laptop charging socket as well in the rear, which we'll show you, and automatic climate control. You have 3-zone climate control, which is really interesting. The touchscreen unit up front, the AV&T in the top spec variants, which is an audio video navigational unit, comes with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay functionality. So the touch functionality is quite smooth and plenty of functions and resources. You also have a built-in navigation system out here. So the dedicated navigation setup, you can choose the different locations, or you can also use voice commands. You have a dedicated button on the steering for voice commands, and this is being facilitated of course by Map My India, and live traffic updates on the navigation are through Here Maps. So we found it to be reasonably accurate, the navigation setup, and it can definitely be used in case you are not pairing your mobile devices to connect Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. That said, the navigation through Google Maps we found to be slightly more efficient than the unit that is being provided right now by Map My India with traffic updates from Here Maps. Now Kia is also offering steering mounted controls. Cruise control is a basic functionality. What it does miss out on is rain sensing wipers, but you do get automatic headlamps. You have these sunroofs both for the front and the second row. The second row is slightly larger. You also can control both of the sunroofs from the front over here, and you can also control the rear sunroof from the second row, as we will show you. So you also have a conversation mirror up here in the front, and that is something definitely handy. You have dedicated SOS tow buttons. You also have UVO connectivity. So talking a little bit about the UVO connectivity, you have smartphone integrated and smartwatch integrated connectivity functions like engine start, engine stop, set air conditioning, temperature, etc., which we have already seen being offered on the Kia Seltos. Kia is also offering wireless phone charging on the Kia Carnival and through mobile devices which are key enabled. So that's another added functionality, Bluetooth telephony, and of course dedicated command buttons on the steering wheel. So you have a lot on offer which is offered as standard on the Kia Carnival, which you will usually see on top spec models in competing segments. You also have features such as a ventilated driver seat. You have active eco for economic driving to improve the fuel efficiency of the vehicle. You have an electronic parking brake, which is definitely a handy function to have, and you also have parking sensors both in the front and the rear, and you can toggle between choosing to have the notifications being sent, the alerts being sent over here from the dash console. Plenty of storage area as well over here, and Kia claims that you can store a fairly large size tablet in this storage compartment. And also smartly tucked away is this box where you can store your sunglasses, etc. So that's it more or less in the front. Let's hop on to the second row and check out the space over there. So in the second row, this is where the fun really begins, and you have so much room that you can actually stretch out. It's ridiculous the amount of space that is being offered in the second and third rows of the cabin, and especially if you have large families or you are a family of large people, well, the Kia Carnival definitely meets those size requirements. Other than that, a lot of comfort and convenience has been built in. So you have this 10.1-inch touchscreen up front, and these infotainment consoles. You can mirror your phone, you can connect HDMI, AV in, USB, etc., and choose your different type of entertainments that you want to be displayed over here, especially while you are on long journeys or you're in bumper to bumper traffic. Still does the job pretty well. So if you're being chauffeured around in the city as well, you can choose to be entertained, and the connectivity and the touch and feel and the performance of these screens, the touchscreen units, are pretty good. Mirroring your mobile devices as well is not very complicated, so another handy functionality. Kia has also built in a smart air purifier on this. It also gives you a measurement of the AQI in real time, which is a very handy feature and function to have. A sunroof up top for the second row occupants. You have roof mounted ventilation, and of course controls for the second row and third row occupants. What we really liked are these power doors. So just press a button, the door locks, unlocks. It's a very premium function to have, a very premium or a wow factor it has to it, which adds to the comfort, convenience and functionality. These windows are also quite large, and of course you have these privacy blinds as well, which you can choose to draw on and draw off. So a very well thought out cabin. The comfort and convenience inside these seats are good. The bolstering of the front seats, the bolstering of the rear seats, the dedicated armrests of the captain seats, they're really quite luxurious, and there's so much functionality within these seats as well. So for example, if you need more arm space, you just slide your chair to the left, or if you want to come closer and have a conversation, slide it to the left and bring it closer to the other row occupants. Slide it back, slide forward, tilt your seat back. You can also get the footrest out and lean back and relax on those long journeys. Now speaking about relaxing, the Kia Carnival does also have a fragrance package within the air purifying unit, which is another handy feature to have, especially if you are traveling in traffic and the smell of pollution can sometimes become overwhelming. So clubbed with, of course, the air purifier, that fragrance enhancement within the cabin also has a very handy role to pamper your inner soul while you're traveling. Kia is also offering a USB charging slot out here, and for the first time you are offered a 220 volt outlet for your laptops to charge your laptop devices, etc. And Kia is saying this is a very India specific feature, has been designed for the Indian market specifically. Now Kia is also offering plenty of cubby holes, storage spaces, bottle holders, coat holders, hangers, and there are so many hooks where you can just sort of bag your shopping, etc., or you can just hang your coats. So a lot of well thought out tidbits here and there really make it a very, very functional cabin. Now the second row is quite comfortable, the reclining and footrest functions which add a lot of comfort and convenience, but then Kia is also offering different layouts. So you have a 7-seater, you have a 8-seater, you have a 9-seater. A 7-seater is the current configuration that we are in the limousine, but then you also have two other variants which come with 8-seater and 9-seater configurations. And in the 9-seater configurations there are individual, so that you have 6 captain seats and a 3-seat bench right in the last row. And as you can see, we are in the third row of the Kia Carnival, and surprise, oh surprise, this is quite comfortable. I can really stretch out my leg. I haven't adjusted the seat, it's according to the previous adjustment while I was talking to you about the second row, and there was plenty of space then. There's still plenty of space for me to stretch out, and under thigh support, yes, it's not as good as the VIP seats in front, but it's still pretty comfortable out here. And the seat squab maybe could have been slightly extended to probably add a little more comfort, but then again I'm still pretty comfortable. And for 3 average sized Indian adults, this third row is probably going to be better than anything we have experienced in this segment above or below it. The roomy feeling is not compromised in the third row, unlike many vehicles as we have seen before. These fixed windows are still pretty large, and of course you also get these privacy blinds out here, but if you feel claustrophobic, there is plenty to look out. You also have the roof mounted ventilation system for the third row as well, controlled of course from the second row. 2 bottle holders out here, so that is also an added advantage to have. You also have a USB charging slot over here in the third row. So we've been driving around in the Kia Carnival in the city of Nizams, Hyderabad, and for all those of you who've been to Hyderabad, you know how traffic can get. For the congested city streets of Hyderabad or many other metropolitans like this city, the Kia Carnival does feel a bit out of place, especially because of the dimensions of this behemoth on wheels. And if you can get used to the sheer size of this MPV, it's fairly fun to drive. In stop and go traffic, of course, because you have an automatic, it's not really that big a hassle, but if you really want to enjoy the complete prowess of the Kia Carnival, I would suggest using it more on highways. The Kia Carnival is powered by a 2.2 litre CRDI diesel. This is a 4-cylinder turbocharged engine, comes with a variable geometry turbocharger, and this engine has been rated to produce 200 PS of power. That comes in at 3800 RPM, which is slightly high in the band, and 440 Newton meters of torque. That comes in at 1500 rpm and ranges up to 2750 rpm. So in case you want to get going in a bit of a hurry, you floor the accelerator and it's almost effortless as the Carnival surges forward. What you do find is that it takes a slight fraction of a second to respond to that input of the accelerator, and if you still feel the need, you can also shift manually. This MPV has been optimized to deliver decent fuel efficiency when you consider this powertrain of an 8-speed automatic torque converter, which has been mated to the 2.2 liter diesel. We have been able to get a reasonable 12 kmpl from the Carnival while driving on both highway as well as city streets. The transmission is also fairly flexible and does not really intrude, especially if you want to hold a gear and accelerate. You can redline and push it to whichever extent you want, but post 4100 4200 rpm there isn't much on offer. The braking setup on the Kia Carnival is facilitated by 4 disc brakes. Braking is progressive and Kia is offering plenty of driver aids and safety functions such as ESC, ABS with EBD to ensure that you have a safe drive. Speaking of a safe drive, you also get 6 airbags on the Kia Carnival. So you have driver and passenger airbags, you have side and curtain airbags also available. Now, what I really did like about the way the Kia Carnival has been designed is the fact that you have great visibility. The driver can get a commanding position, and the electronically adjusted driver seat also enables you to get into the perfect posture, especially if you are going on longer journeys. You have a tilt and telescopically adjustable steering column, so getting that right and comfortable posture is quite easy. You have a good view of the road, the surroundings, because of the large size of the ORVMs. You also have fair visibility from the rear, which is an added advantage. What we could have liked extra on the Kia Carnival would have been blind spot cameras on the side, or even a camera for the front. That said, Kia is offering rear parking sensors as well as front parking sensors, which will definitely be required considering the length and breadth of this vehicle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's it from our side. We hope you enjoyed watching this video. If you did, do give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to our channel and make sure you stay updated with all the latest happenings from the automotive industry. Until the next time, see you later.